Hello everybody, it's Founder Rich here. I'm going to do a response video to Logopedi. I don't know how you spell it. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Logopedi. It's a guy from Greece. Young, handsome man. And I'll leave a link to his video. Subscribe to the guy. He's pretty new in the VC. He did, I think, his take was like original or cover songs that were different than the originals, you know. I'm going to have some of that, but not, I'm just going to show some of my favorites. And I'm going to start off with this, the Beatles' Help. Now, in the 60s, a lot of these, especially in that early, mid-60s, like this, the Beatles' second album, more than half of it is covers. But so I'm not going to show those kind of albums. But I wanted to show this one because of the song Act Naturally. Ringo sings it. And the reason I'm showing that is people say that Ringo isn't a good drummer. Well, not only is he playing the shuffle beat, but he's singing to this song. And all you drummers that, you know, hard rock drummers, and you're doing all these fills and that, you try and do a shuffle beat for the entirety of the song, and you will see how difficult that is. It's not an easy task. Now, the first songs that came to my mind, great cover songs that are probably better than the originals, was Jimi Hendrix with All Along the Watchtower. It's better than the original, dude. I mean, I don't care. I mean, even if you're a Bob Dylan fan, you got to admit that. It's just a fantastic. And another one I think is, I don't know if it's better, but it's definitely different. It's Johnny Winter with his version of Highway 61 Revisited. Now, it's probably not better, but it's up there, man. It's just as, it's a great interpretation of that song. The Byrds' first album, Mr. Tambourine Man. I think it's a better version than, I like Bob Dylan's version, but they gave it a beat, you know, and they created a genre, basically. Roger McGowan created a genre with this. Mr. Tambourine Man. And then their second album, Turn, Turn, Turn. That is also a cover. It's a Pete Seeger cover. And they do it's a great version. A lot of soul acts did a lot of covers. I picked this one. It's King Curtis, Get Ready. It's almost all instrumental, I believe. But I picked this one because he does a version of Bridge Over Troubled Water. And you would think, man, I don't know if that's I think it's a great song, but I don't know if that's a good choice, you know, to do a funky, gritty soul version of. But man, it is fantastic what he did with that song. Another band that took a Burt Bacharach song, My Little Red Book. And man, what a great version they did, dude. Just great. Now fast forward into the 70s. Patti Smith did Gloria, the song that Van Morrison made famous with Them. And she just did a totally original, just a great version. She made it her own, you know, like a lot of these other ones I've just shown. Talking Heads, Take Me to the River. It's got a groove to it. It's not totally different than the original, but it is different. It's a lot different. Johnny Thunders opens this album up with Pipeline, the surf song. It's a straight take. It's not a variation of the song. But I love the way this album opens with that song. Now, The Great Rock and Roll Swindle had 3 Sid Vicious songs on it. And they were all 3 covers. And he did them pretty straight, except for My Way. But he's got 2 Eddie Cochran songs he did. Come On Everybody and Something Else. And then his version of My Way, the Frank Sinatra song, is pretty unique. The Plugs, their album, they self-released Electrify Me, and it contains La Bamba. I think my favorite version of the song. It's fantastic. Now, the Dickies were known for doing quite a few covers. I mean, they would sprinkle covers into their sets. A lot of their early 7" singles were covers. But their version of Paranoid, I mean, Paranoid's a fast song, but man, they amped it up. It's like Paranoid on 78, you know? And it's really cool. I saw these guys several times. I don't know if I saw them the very first time they played, but I saw them when they were just starting in 77 at the Whiskey, and they became regulars at the Whiskey. And one time when they were there, or we went to go see them, there was one table up above and it said reserved. You know, that's weird. We've never seen that. And it turned out Ozzy Osbourne showed up. Another really cool cover is Black Flag's cover of Louie Louie. I mean, they do it punk rock style, but they basically do, you know, the song the way it was written, except they do change the lyrics are changed. An interesting cover is by Red Cross, and they covered Cease to Exist, which was a Charles Manson song. Now, since that, there have been some bands to cover Charles Manson songs. I mean, the Beach Boys did a Charles Manson song. I think it was a B-side, and it might have been this song. But yeah, that was kind of a taboo thing to do. Some bands have done it. I mean, even Guns N' Roses have done it since. Circle Jerks' third album, Golden Shower of Hits. And the song Golden Shower of Hits is a string of cover songs. And what they did, it tells a story. And it starts off with Along Comes Mary, then Close to You, Afternoon Delight, Having My Baby, Love Will Keep Us Together, and then it ends with DIVORCE, Divorce. A great cover on this album by my Gun Club. It's Run Through the Jungle, the Creedence Clearwater song. The Muskrats, Soul Francisco. This album has a few covers on it. But the one that's really cool is Them Changes, the Buddy Miles song. It's really cool. They do a really good version. This is, I mean, all the covers they do. They even do a Red Cross song, Linda Blair. But it's two guys. And one guy, he sings, plays tambourine, cowbell, washboard, bongos, and percussion. So he sings and plays percussion. The other guy is vocals, guitar, and feedback. Mr. T Experience, punk band, the 80s, and they do a version of the Monkey song Pleasant Valley Sunday, the Mr. T Experience. Now we're going into the 80s. This is the Human League's first album. I had never heard this album until I started watching VC videos. And people were talking about, oh, that's so great, and it's, you know, it's completely different than their later stuff, and it is. And they do a version, a cover of "You've Lost That Loving Feeling." And it's like a 9.5 minute song, and it's horrible. I don't really like this song. I think the album Dare is better than this. Susie and the Banshees does a great cover of a Beatles song, Dear Prudence, the John Lennon song. Bananarama, they do a couple of covers on here. But the one I really like is He Was Really Saying Something, and that's a cover of by a band, the Velvelettes. The Velvelettes? The Velvelettes? Man, I'm tongue-tied. But I also think he was Nah Nah Hey Hey, Kiss Me Goodbye, or Kiss Him Goodbye. I think that was a cover. Gigi Allen does a cover of Carmelita. the song written by Warren Zevon. Linda Ronstadt did a great version of it. And he does a pretty straight up version of it. And it's an acoustic version. And this is like G.G. Allen's country album. It's this one is one of his better produced, or more commercial, I guess you could say, than any of his other stuff. Now the Dickies did a song on here, Pretty Please Me. Now I thought it was an original, you know. And then later, Red Cross covered that song. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Red Cross is covering a Dickies song. But it turns out it's a song by The Quick from the mid-'70s. And I think both versions are kind of similar to the original, because both of these are pretty similar. And then we got the Side Eyes. They do a version of Don't Talk to Me, which was a song that a punk band, The Eyes, did. And her mother was a co-writer of that song. And Charlotte Caffey from the Go-Go's. And her dad is Jeff McDonald from Red Cross. Now I'm going to show some takes that they took the songs and they really twisted them into something different. Wall of Voodoo with Ring of Fire. This is the 12-inch. Man, it is like an industrial sounding song. It's totally, I mean, you can tell what song it is, but they've totally made it their own. And on the B side, they do the Morricone themes, which is Hang 'em High and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fantastic, man. Butthole Surfers do a version of American Woman on here, and it's got this beat, this industrial beat to it, totally different than what was that? The Guess Who's version from Canada. But they also do a song called Perry. And what that is the Perry Mason theme song. Some of you youngsters don't watch my channel. And then we got the Fibonacci's. They do a Psycho. And that's from the movie Psycho. Really cool. Fibonacci's are another really good band. Kind of arty. Sex Fiend, Alien Sex Fiend. They do a 13 Floor Elevators song. Which, you know, a punk rock band doing a 13 Floor Elevators song, it really isn't a stretch, you know. But like everything Alien Sex Fiend does, it's totally twisted, and it's definitely different than the original. Now I'm going to show a few albums here that are all covers. And we're going to start up with Bowie Pinups. It starts off with Rosalind and Here Comes the Night and I Wish You Would. Just bang, bang, bang. It kind of tails off a bit, but it's a good album. All covers. This Red Cross record, the back cover is so cool. Even the front cover, but it's hard to see the front. It's all covers with the exception of they redo their song Linda Blair. But man, the covers on this some of them are better than the originals, man. Mid-'80s, Metallica did an all covers EP, and it's fantastic, man. This may be my favorite Metallica album. The Ramones, they did an album of all covers. A lot of them from the 60s, and really cool. Very cool album, man. I don't know if the Ramones really made a bad album. And then finally, we got Shadowland, and it's K.D. Lang singing Patsy Cline songs. And I guess this guy here, he was the producer on the Patsy Cline records. Anyways, take care. I'm going to leave a link. Subscribe to the Greek. Take care, everybody. Aaron Rodgers, when are you going to sign?